Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Today on Rappler, the University of the Philippines College of Law dominates the 2013 bar exams after 9 years. China warns the Philippines to prepare for consequences for supposedly breaking its promise over the disputed Ayungin Shoal. And Russia moves closer to annexing Crimea.
Hello, I'm Ai Makaraig, sitting in for Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. The University of the Philippines College of Law tops the 2013 bar examinations, getting 5 of the top 10 slots. It's the first time since 2005 that the state university topped the bar. Nielsen Pangan from UP ranks number 1 with a grade of 85.8%. A total of 1,174 aspiring lawyers passed the exams, comprising 22.18% of the examinees. The percentage of successful examinees is higher than the 17.76% who passed the 2012 exams. The top 10 passers come from UP, Ateneo Law School, University of Batangas, University of San Carlos, University of Cebu, and San Beda College, Manila. The passers will take their oath on April 28 at the Philippine International Convention Center. The release of the results of the 2013 bar examinations confirmed there will be over 1,000 additions to the country's pool of lawyers. While there's an abundance of well wishes and congratulatory messages, there are also those who ask the new lawyers to never be corrupt. Danny Flores tells the passers, guard and serve the rights of those who have less in life, while Sonny De Los Santos asks them to never abandon your legal ethics. CJ Manait Jr. says they must do their duty to give their future client the best possible advice without regard for their own financial circumstances. China warns the Philippines to prepare for consequences for breaking its promise to withdraw a stranded ship from the disputed Ayungin Shoal. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Hong Lei says under previous administrations, the Philippines promised to tow away the ship grounded in the shoal. Under the Aquino administration, the Philippines filed a historic case against China over disputed territories in the South China Sea. Beijing says Manila should fulfill its promises even if they were made under a previous administration. Hong adds, otherwise it will lose credibility to the international community. The Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs did not deny China's claim, but says the stranded ship was placed in Ayungin before the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea was signed in 2002. The Justice Department says it will file homicide charges against 8 Philippine Coast Guard personnel over a Taiwanese fisherman's death in 2013. Prosecutors say the 8 personnel acted in unison with the common purpose of firing at the Taiwanese fishing vessel. This comes 7 months after the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, recommended the filing of charges, saying there was no categorical proof the Taiwanese boat posed a grave threat to the Philippine patrol vessel. The NBI will also charge 2 Coast Guard personnel for obstruction of justice. The 2013 incident strained relations between the Philippines and Taiwan and left up to 16,000 Filipinos temporarily jobless. Contrary to testimonies of previous witnesses, a veteran OB/GYN surgeon says the medical condition of alleged pork barrel scam mastermind Janet Napoles needs immediate attention. Napoles has been detained for almost 7 months at a police camp in Laguna for serious illegal detention charges. She asked a Makati court for permission to undergo surgery to remove a myoma in her uterus that was discovered during a medical examination at a police hospital. Doctors earlier said Napoles' condition wasn't life-threatening. But Dr. Santiago del Rosario, presented as an expert witness during a hearing Tuesday, says the 50-year-old patient's age makes the situation urgent. Del Rosario adds, women in middle age with abnormal bleeding induces the risk of cancer. A delay could spell the difference between a cure and no cure. Napoles' lawyers are asking that she be allowed surgery in St. Luke's, citing her, quote, bad experience at the police hospital. The Supreme Court is set to decide on the controversial reproductive health law next month. A study shows most women in the poorest barangay of Quezon City want to plan their families, but access to health facilities and contraceptives remains a problem. G. Geronimo reports.
19 years old, Miracle Pacheco is already a mother of 3. She eloped with her boyfriend when she was 14 and came back to Payatas with their first child. Miracle did not want a second child, nor a third. But she says it can't be helped since she keeps forgetting to take her pills.
Natry ko rin mag-pills pero IUD hindi pa. Kasi sabi nila nakakatakot daw kasi mag-IUD.
Sino mga nagsasabi sa inyo?
Sabi nila yung ibang nakaranas na. Tapos sabi naman na iba masakit. Pero mahirap daw mag-IUD. Gusto ko sana sa NG kasi meron kasi ako nakikitang injectable may tumataba. Iyangan nga naman, di ba? Eh hindi ako iyang. Lalo po akong pumaya, tas nag-dry po yung ano ko. Tinigil ko na lang po.
She swears the baby in her womb will be her last. They can't afford the fourth one. Her partner's only income is scavenging. A study shows many women in Payatas want to plan their families, but they still end up with unwanted pregnancies. While most of them are Catholics, they don't think using contraceptives is a sin, despite the church's stand. Antonieta Innumerable of the city's health department says their main source of contraceptives is the Barangay Health Center.
Actually, kahit wala yung RH bill, tatayo rin ang Quezon City. Dahil meron kaming sarili naming ordinansa na nauna pa nga ang Quezon City kaysa dun sa RH bill.
Innumerable says supply remains a problem despite Quezon City's ordinance on reproductive health. The current budget is not enough. The city needs 200 million for its reproductive health program, but only 14 million is allotted this year. It's a sum the reproductive health law can provide and more if the Supreme Court decides to uphold its constitutionality.
Gusto niyang gawin sa akin para hindi na masundan kagad. Si Mera po kasi pagka marami sunod-sunod eh. Hindi ka man lang maka-enjoy na malaki na yung mga anak mo, meron na naman.
Miracle has decided, despite fears, she'll use an IUD. She's been told it's safe and low maintenance. The women of Payatas know their reproductive health needs, but they call on their government to provide it for them. Will the government listen to them when it decides on the RH law next month? G. Geronimo Rappler, Manila.
All is not lost for dismissed Philippine Military Academy or PMA Cadet Jeff Cudia. Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Ramon Zagala confirms the military formed a special investigation board that will probe the case, given new matters raised by Cudia during his meeting with President Benigno Aquino. Aquino tasked Chief of Staff Emmanuel Bautista to handle the re-investigation of Cudia's case. Aquino also advised Cudia to file a new appeal. Cudia says the honor committee, composed of PMA cadets, abused its powers when it decided to expel him from class 2014. He says members pressured a cadet who initially voted to acquit him. A dismissal requires a unanimous vote from committee members. The committee declared Cudia guilty of violating the honor code when he reportedly lied in his explanation of why he was late in one class last year. He appealed the decision, but the PMA command upheld the committee's decision. Russian President Vladimir Putin signs a treaty with Crimean leaders to make the territory part of Russia despite opposition from the West, which refuses to recognize Crimea as a sovereign state. In a controversial referendum Sunday, Crimeans voted overwhelmingly to leave Ukraine and join Russia. The vote is due to pro-Moscow sentiment and opposition towards the new leaders in the capital, Kiev. In a speech before the Russian parliament, Putin calls Crimea an integral part of Russia, saying its transfer to Ukraine in 1954 was, quote, a historical injustice. He also accuses the West of double standards, saying it intervened in Kosovo in 1999, but now hits Russia for its actions in Crimea. Crimean lawmakers asked for support in recognizing their independence, but the West denounced the referendum as illegal. In a bid to force Russia to back down, the United States and the European Union imposed travel bans and asset freezes on several Russian officials. On Tuesday, the Philippines says it remains deeply concerned about the situation in the peninsula. The Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs says it hopes for a diplomatic solution to this issue. The Philippines also calls for maximum restraint to be shown by all parties. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 2. More than a week since flight MH370 disappeared, many are puzzled over the absence of communication from the missing plane. There have been no calls or social media posts from the 239 people on board the plane since it was diverted. Citing analyst The New York Times reports, the plane may have been flying too high for passenger cell phones to connect to base stations on the ground. If someone deliberately disabled communications equipment, as investigators hypothesize, earphones built into the plane system also would not work. At number 8. On the third week of the trial of South African Olympian Oscar Pistorius, gun dealer Sean Patrick Wren says the athlete knew gun safety laws before buying firearms. Wren says Pistorius knew when it is legal and not legal to fire at unknown persons breaking into his home. These details are significant in his trial, where he is accused of shooting his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp through a bathroom door last year. Pistorius claims the death was an accident and he mistakenly acted in self-defense when he thought Steenkamp was a burglar. And at number 10, a new device introduces a novel form of messaging, smell center communication. Biomedical engineer David Edwards develops the O-Phone, which allows users to mix and match smells and send the resulting composition as a message. With the help of perfumers, Edwards created a menu for users to choose from with up to 356 combinations possible. A free app will soon allow anyone to send smell notes. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. In a major discovery for understanding the origins of the universe, U.S. scientists say they found echoes of the Big Bang 14 billion years ago. Researchers say it's the first direct evidence of cosmic inflation, or the rapid growth spurt that came in the first moments of the life of the universe. With the help of a telescope at the South Pole, scientists find gravitational waves that rippled through the universe 380,000 years after the Big Bang. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that affected our readers the most. Today's top story already made it to the mood navigator. UP tops the 2013 bar examinations. 64% are happy, 23% inspired. But a lot of the circles are in red. PNP lied to Pala, says SAC Delphine Lee captor. 86% of readers are angry, 6% annoyed. And we have 2 stories about China. China tells Philippines on a union dispute, prepare for consequences. It has 76% of people feeling angry, 16% annoyed. All contributing to the mood of the day today, most people are angry. That's Rappler's Newscast for today, Tuesday, March 18, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Ayi Makaraigin, as you say at Rappler. Tomorrow begins today.